Wrestling has more than one royal family. Acknowledge me. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Wrestling Crossroads. As always, I'm one half your dynamic duo, Twisted, alongside Brother Pyro.
Hi, guys.
And, as you can tell, we did open up a little differently this Wrestling Crossroad as last week we lost Bray Wyatt in the wrestling community, so we thought we'd pay a little bit of tribute to him, pretty much starting off our Payback pre-show. So I'll give Brother Pyro a minute to kind of collect himself, and we'll get started here with the United States Championship match. Rey Mysterio defends against former champion Austin Theory. Brother Pyro, are you okay to take us through how Theory gained this opportunity?
You want a number one contenders match?
Yes, against who?
I missed that episode of SmackDown.
With everybody saying.
L.A. Knight.
Yes. So, the
man who should be United States champion right now anyway, but...
Agreed. Totally agreed.
But
this is here nor there. We're going to get into our predictions.
There we go. I don't work for the company.
We are not necessarily split directly down the middle as it is the usual 5 and 5. Me, you, and Flash all chose Rey Mysterio to retain, whereas Desario and Hex have chosen Austin Theory to regain this championship. Hex believes that Theory is just going to take it because he's a snake. And with
Grayson Waller in your corner.
Yep. I was going to say, with his newfound friendship with Grayson Waller, I don't see it being far-fetched.
I don't see it being far-fetched, but you also got to remember Ray has the LWO in his corner.
Mm-hmm.
As some equalizers. I'm sure Ray's not going to be... I'm sure Ray, being the vet that he is going to be smart enough to at least have Santos out with him during this match, knowing Theory's definitely going to have some tricks up his sleeve.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Do you know Desario's reasoning for Theory?
He didn't give me necessarily a reason, but what he can see is Ray dropping the title and then the possible split of LWO.
Okay.
With basically them going excommunicado with Ray.
Now, would that lead to them going back to Legado del Fantasma?
Probably.
Okay. I know I've been hearing some rumors.
When they brought them in, I was really excited to see what they would do. I was not ready for babyface Santos right away.
Yes.
But they kind of gave that to us right away.
Anyways.
They could have given us a heel run real quick first. But anyway.
Once you're brought up, it's kind of trial and error on what they think will work. And obviously,
LWO has been pretty solid and has been working relatively well.
Yeah.
So I can't be too mad at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have loved to see Legado del Fantasma actually build and do something. At least give them a chance.
Yeah.
Because they really didn't. They came up, they had the 2 weeks, and they really didn't give them a chance to do anything.
No, because they were hidden behind the scenes while LWO was being worked in the back. And
it's unfortunate, because like I said, I would have loved to have seen what could have came out of that if given the right opportunity.
I do agree. Okay. You want to take us into the next match?
All right. Pittsburgh Steel City Street Fight for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defend against Judgment Day members Finn Balor
Hello?
Yes, shush. And Senor Money in the Bank, Damian Priest. This is going to be a real fun one.
I believe so, yeah. I do agree.
Can you let us know, fill us in on how we got here?
I personally don't know how we got to the actual match, but I can tell you that I know Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have been looking for people to defend against, and I think that's more or less just kind of how this came
It's been a
up.
while since we've had a tag title defense.
Yeah, no, I believe I did miss that episode of Monday Night Raw. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I can't be too mad at you.
Okay. Considering you missed the one where we got our last one.
Yep. But I am really excited to see this match.
Mm-hmm.
You get to see a side that almost all of them have grown relatively comfortable with, and that's just chaos.
Yes, especially Kevin Owens. I don't have an anger problem.
Kevin, you have an anger problem, but that is going to be one of the next shirts I buy.
You're going to definitely need it. You're just going to have to wear it 24/7.
Yeah, I do not have an anger problem. Sir, why are you yelling? Shut up.
Mm-hmm. You're definitely going to need it.
But this one became unanimous. Owens and Zayn retained their titles.
Mm-hmm.
Desario, I know, said that this would probably be more miscommunication with Priest and Balor.
That's the exact same thing that Hex said in your reasoning.
Actually, I'm kind of the same, and honestly, if the first title defense since in Owens coming back from injury, I don't think you take the straps off of him.
No.
I personally think the next one's up, and you can kind of see this building already.
Yeah.
The Profits.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
With their alignment with Lashley and with what they said last night on SmackDown of, we coming for all the gold.
I definitely say that.
And then the moment of, them making their entrance, Lashley and the Profits are up on the ramp, and you can tell they're planting the seeds for that rivalry and storyline, and for that I am grateful. Because all four of them together are going to create magic.
I will say, though, my favorite, of the Profits, my favorite, feud that they've had so far being on the main roster has to be the New Day. Was when they were going against the New Day for the titles back and forth. I loved it. That was absolutely my favorite. Because they didn't really have much interaction with the Usos, so I can't necessarily say it was the Usos, but they had more interaction with the New Day.
I don't know. They built up the Uso storyline relatively well, and each match was better than the last.
I still like them in the New Day.
But, yeah.
All right.
So that's where we're at for that match. Bring us into the next one.
All right. Hopefully, what me and you have agreed should be the end of this.
I think everybody's on the same page. Just let this rivalry, let this story, let this feud die.
Trish Stratus takes on Becky Lynch in a steel cage match. We got to this point when Becky competed against, Zoe Stark in a Falls Count Anywhere match? Was that Zoe? Yes. In order to get a match against Trish yet again, because anytime they have had one, Trish always involves Zoe. Well, kind of a little more difficult for Zoe to get involved in a steel cage match.
Is it though? We've seen some ish.
I mean, we've
seen some ish.
We have seen
go down in the steel cage, my guy.
I mean, yes, but it takes a little bit for them to get involved, which means Becky could still have the upper hand for a while. Don't give me that face.
Again.
You already know that if there is, when it comes to a steel cage match, they always make their entrance. Either the person, kind of wanders around the ring, or they go right back to the back. And it's not till the closing moments when you really think that the person you want to win is going to win that the lackey comes out to help the villain in the storyline, to help the heel. And then we get 2-on-1, and the good guy always prevails. Tell me I haven't described every single steel cage match we've ever watched that have ended rivalries like this.
You actually have not. Just a majority of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Shut up.
Okay. So, unanimous pick with this one being Becky Lynch finally puts the nail in the coffin for this rivalry.
Please, Lord. Please.
Wrestling gods, if you
Wrestling
can
gods,
heal us.
I don't ask for much.
That's
okay,
right.
that's a lie.
Okay, that's a lie.
I don't ask for anything outrageous, though. I don't ask for anything out of pocket. Everything I have asked for has made sense. This is one of those things that is definitely going to make sense. And this. Just end this, please.
It definitely needs to die.
It's like, at this point, this story has been dragged on way too long. It has not really gotten a lot of interest and intrigue. Like, just kill it. Just let this be done.
Smite it.
Just smite it down with all your power. Thank you.
Take us into our next match.
Miz and L.A. Knight.
I was
letting you hit it. I was gonna let you hit it this time.
I was gonna do it with you.
I was gonna let you have the solo moment.
If Flash was here, we know he'd take that solo moment.
Oh yeah, he definitely. But Miz, the A-lister versus L.A. Knight. Yeah. 1-on-1 here in Pittsburgh.
Keep going.
I am really excited for this 1-on-1 match. They have done a really good job of building this story. You know, Miz more or less trying to... How do I put this? Miz really trying to reestablish himself as that top star, that A-lister.
Yeah, he has been out for a while.
That main guy, LA Knight, trying to prove, hey, your time in the sun is done. I'm the new megastar. Get out of my way.
I'm very curious to see if this, rivalry does continue, who takes the final W, because that could mean, we really are seeing kind of the end coming for Miz.
Oh yeah, no, Miz has been around, has spanned almost 2 decades of a very successful career.
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Fame worthy, all in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
This is nothing against Miz, but I think LA Knight would be the perfect predecessor. As much as we wanted to say, oh, it would be great for, Grayson.
Yeah.
To take the torch from Miz, I think LA Knight is simply the better fit to take over.
I agree, totally.
So 4v1,
mm-hmm.
because Desario has to be the odd one out. Everybody has the world chanting L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Baby.
You son of a beach ball.
I was going to let Flash have that totally now that he appeared.
Yeah.
I was totally going to have Flash take that, yeah. Should we go one more time?
Nah.
Just for Flash to have it? Oh, come on. We got to do it one time.
All right.
Show me.
Yeah.
With everybody chanting.
L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Thank you. Desario picking Miz, though, because, Miz is his boy. He actually is like, I see Miz picking up the win, because, one, you can't have him continue to lose on pay-per-view, and Miz has strung up some pretty big losses lately.
Miz has not won a single match in all of 2023.
Okay, so yeah, I think he's due. I think he's due, and
Even
I could see that. And win or lose, I see the story. No matter who
continuing.
wins, the storyline is going to continue. Either Miz is going to win and then talk about how he's the best, and LA Knight's going to be like, dude, He's like, all right, run it back. That win was or it's,
Or it's going to
be the Miz losing clean, losing fair, and then he's going to whine and cry and moan to Adam Pearce, and then he's going to get granted a rematch anyway.
I mean, Hex came out and said that the Miz doesn't do anything in WWE anymore, so she doesn't see him winning this one. She said he's all bark and no bite, so LA Knight wins.
Personally, even after this, I'd like to see this rivalry
Go on for a little bit.
Maybe it culminates with a one-on-one match at the Rumble.
Ooh, that would be nice. Yeah.
I'm just saying. This gives the chance for Miz to really do something. This gives LA Knight the chance to get the rub that we need him to get to be an established superstar. And again, who better to give him that rub than The Miz?
Mm-hmm. You said it. The Miz can make a broom look good.
Oh yeah, Miz can work with anything, anybody, and you are invested. It's great. Think about when Dexter Lumis came back. Lumis didn't step foot in the ring. And you were invested in Dexter Lumis because of the Miz's involvement.
Mm-hmm.
What you got to say, Flash? Because I see the gears turning in your head there.
You talk about your question earlier about Miz crying like a little baby. That's just like our kid.
It's just like Baby Crossroads. Totally.
It is like Baby Crossroads. But I'm just saying.
You think Miz is going to go crying like a little baby?
He might.
Plus,
his wife still has his, you know what.
Oh, LA Knight referred to that one last night on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Which was really great. His tiny little giblets. But that has probably been one of my favorite parts of this whole rivalry, by the way. Them going at it on the mic, because both have been just absolutely fantastic.
I did notice, though, last night on SmackDown, it really seemed like Miz was stumbling over his promo lines.
Yeah? Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that caught that.
And, LA Knight's like watching him like, dude, you gotta
get it together, bro.
Mm-hmm. I was really shocked about that.
Yeah.
You got anything else to say, Flash, before we go into our next match?
The only thing I have to say is we have Baby Crossroads upstairs sleeping, so I need Mr. Pyro to... I know you're excited and happy about this. Drop it down a few notches, but get close to the mic.
At this point, though, your kid can sleep through pretty much anything.
It's just precautionary. Okay, peace out.
Bye, Flash.
Don't forget, hey!
Flash, you forgot something.
Senor. There you go.
This is why I love my wife.
We love you too. Go over there. Go away.
So that little impromptu of, again, why we do this live.
Because it's hilarious. It's great. It's
especially
fun.
When
it's
Flash
entertaining.
is involved.
It's entertainment.
All right. Closing out our match card, our next two are co-main event and our main event. Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley
takes on... Do we actually have a co-main event, or is it a single main event kind of night to night?
I have no clue. I just put this because I assumed this would be the co-main event if there was.
Jesus Christ, does nobody understand the purpose of a main event anymore?
Apparently not. So, again, Rhea Ripley takes on Raquel Rodriguez, and we are 3-2 with this one.
Of course you and Flash got to be the odd ones. Wait a minute. Flash went against Rhea?
I was getting to that. You, Desario, and Hex all chose Rhea Ripley to retain, whereas me and Flash chose Raquel Rodriguez to pick up the win.
Why?
Yeah. I think it's time to put an end to her title reign.
Flash, I need something from you. I need to make sure you're not feeling sick.
No, I think Flash is just done with Rhea's title reign.
Love, I'm looking at, how you have the card written out.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of noticed something.
Yes.
I spelled Raquel's name wrong.
I don't care.
It's R-A, not R-O.
I don't care. It was 2 a.m. when I typed this out. Baby Crossroads did not want to sleep.
And then he slept for almost 12 hours.
Yeah, because my kid can freaking sleep.
He is. Anyway.
So your reasoning for choosing Rhea to, retain, I'm assuming would be, Dom getting involved.
Dom getting involved, and let's be real, in her her second serious title defense. Because no disrespect to Natalia, but do those really count? Do they really? Like in the record books, yes, but do they really count? In her second real storyline with the title,
there we go.
you're not gonna have her drop it. Not right now, and not at a pay-per-view like Payback. I'm sorry, but like if she's going to drop it, it's gonna be one of the bigger shows.
Okay.
Or
I know-
Survivor Series.
I know Hex kind of agrees with you on that. She said that
But I will
she...
agree, Desario and I both have come to the conclusion this title has been incredibly boring, and we wish it would just end.
Yeah.
So again, Wrestling Gods, if you're listening.
The thing that I don't understand
Thank
is with the last couple title reigns that we have gotten from either side, from, when it used to be Raw and SmackDown to changing it to WWE and World Heavyweight Women's titles, why are the reigns so boring?
And I can't even say they've been boring for everyone.
No, but just in the majority of the last couple.
Because Asuka's was actually really interesting. This last title run that she had was actually a lot of fun to watch.
But she also didn't hold it for long.
Bianca before her was really
No.
bleh.
Yeah.
Who was before?
Becky.
Becky's had some dips.
Becky's had some dips, but you still wanted to watch it. You wanted
you were
to
still
see
invested.
if she was going to
You
retain
were
or she was going to
definitely
lose
invested.
it finally. But there was still nothing there
With
with Bianca's, and then with Rhea's, it's dead. With the one before her, what was
Charlotte
dead,
was
dead.
It was about middle of the road. Who was it
And-
before?
Ronda, dead.
Yeah, it's
Before
Ronda.
that
Like,
was
I'm not mad.
Liv, which we agreed needed to end.
Liv is a chaser, not a champion.
And before that was again Ronda.
That Ronda one wasn't terrible.
No,
The where that led up to Liv cashing in.
yeah,
That one wasn't terrible.
no, but you can see that a majority of these were just
Yeah, no,
dead.
a lot of them were just fish in a barrel. Not a lot of.
And we're kind of
Intrigue.
starting to get it a little bit with that with Io Sky even, and she just won it. I almost forgot that she was champion,
I'm excited to see what more they can do with her.
but right now it's just kind
But
of
right
flopping
now
around
they're
waiting.
not. They're kind of just. I feel like they're
Coasting
using her as a
along.
placeholder.
Yeah, which is
Not okay.
so. Hex had said that she doesn't doubt that Raquel can beat Rhea. She just doesn't think Rhea's losing it now because she thinks she's going to hold on to the title a little longer. I could see it. I agree with that. But I do think that it's time for Rhea's title reign to be completely done. All right. And you, sir, take us into our main event.
Shinsuke Nakamura challenges Seth freaking Rollins for his World Heavyweight Championship. I will say I am loving every bit of this World Heavyweight Championship reign from Mr. Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
He has made... I think they picked the right guy to be the first of the revised champion.
I do agree.
Like, he has made you care about this title.
Mm-hmm.
He has made this title relevant to the world of pro wrestling and the world of WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He has held it with such a high value and standard.
I mean, I'm not mistaken.
And-
I don't think
and
I'm
this
mistaken,
isn't-
but this is like number 20 in his defenses from just winning it, I believe.
All right, and he won it 2 months ago?
About 2-3 months ago, yeah.
But he has held it to such a high standard and value that any champion after him is going to have
A lot to live up to.
a lot to live up to as champion.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not saying, whoever be the dethroner of Seth Rollins, whether it be a Shinsuke or a Priest with a successful cash-in or a Balor that weasels his way back into the title picture, or
I think they kind of dropped the ball with Balor.
or say a McIntyre getting another shot with a world title, a Gunther, whoever it may be,
Mm-hmm.
I are definitely going to have to live up to the standards that
Seth put it up.
Seth put that world title to, because he's got to play second fiddle to Roman.
Yeah.
He's always said, "I'm always going to be that that second fiddle. I'm always going to be, what was it? He's that guy in the company that is always going to be a big name, that's always going to be reliable, but I'm never going to be the guy.
Mhm.
I'm never going to be the Cena of a company.
And the thing is he was never supposed to be a big name, but he has been one of the biggest names.
Oh, you cannot talk the state
breaking
of
out of
you cannot
the ship.
talk state of WWE. You cannot talk, top 10, top 15, top 20, top 30, whatever guys in WWE without putting Rollins towards the top of any of those lists
No.
because of everything he has helped do with this company. Like, think about how everybody likes to say, "Oh, Drew carried the pandemic era." What about Rollins with his visionary gimmick? Like, that was extremely over, and if we would have had if we had a crowd, that would have been even better.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about how he's helped put a lot of guys. Hell, he made Jason Jordan relevant post-American Alpha.
Yeah, he did. Until the injury. And then, obviously he had to get off screen.
Yeah. Still love that they found work for him backstage, though.
Mm-hmm. Even coming back off of his very first big injury, he boomed back into everything.
Like, think about every time he's held a title.
Mm-hmm.
With the exception of maybe one reign.
I think it was his IC reign.
No, but I'm not even going IC reign. I'm going Universal right after Mania 35.
Mm-hmm.
That was a struggle to get through.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's proven time and time again, this is the guy we can count on. He will always be, the edge to Roman Cena. He will always be... what else? Who else can we really compare
Could
that?
you do HBK to Triple H?
Yes, because let's be real, HBK is part of the reason Triple H was actually able to gain that. Like, and honestly, if it wasn't for Michaels getting injured when he did, Triple H has already stated it. Like, he doesn't get as big as he did.
Mm-hmm.
Still, but you can tell, like, there are a lot of that number one guy.
Yeah.
Like, if you can go Attitude Era, Brock and Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm.
As great as both guys were, the face of the company was that Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Like, as much as we want to say and try to make believe that it was The Rock, it was not.
Mm-hmm.
It was Stone Cold. Rock just knew how to make whatever work.
As does Rollins.
Yes, and for him to have such pride in that makes me really happy. And again, for him to be holding this second, quote unquote, secondary title.
Yeah.
And bringing it to the prestige that we would love to see the WWE Championship at.
Yeah.
If Mr. I Take 1,000 Days Off a year would get his shit together.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have that.
I agree.
So props to Rollins for that. I'm sorry, I wanted to get into all of that before we got into the breakdown of.
Oh yeah, no, you're good.
The story.
This
match.
This is you going on your rants, and I get it. I let you. We have at least one pyro rant.
And it's been I haven't had one for a couple podcasts now.
Mm-hmm. So you were kind of.
I was kind of due for one.
Yeah.
I do love the organic build that we got to this rivalry, to this match.
It didn't feel forced. No,
like Shinsuke really has let his intentions be known since day one.
Yes.
He definitely was the definition of, keep my enemies close, whatever.
Yeah, keep my friends close, my enemies closer.
And once he saw the opportunity to move in and, stake claim to, I want
the title.
I'm coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
He made it happen.
Yes.
They've been, again, just doing a really good job of letting this story breathe.
Mm-hmm. I like that in his last promo, Shinsuke really talked about how it's Rollins' back and he knows his secret.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that Rollins has a bad back.
Yeah, he's been wrestling for a few months on an injured back.
It hasn't, from what I have read, it hasn't been a few months. It's been like over a year. So.
He's definitely been in better shape. But again, something that you can say about him as a champion, as a performer.
Mhm.
He's willing to put in the work even while injured to make sure the product comes out the way we want it.
Yes.
So I'm going to, again, just giving him
More props.
his flowers because he fucking deserves them.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know what, I'm tired of us waiting, especially in the wrestling community, waiting till a guy has passed
Yes.
to really
We'll get into
show
that.
them their appreciation.
We will get into that. Let's go through our predictions
So
on this
going
one.
into predictions, you, Flash, and Hex have Rollins. Desario chose Nakamura.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I said Rollins, but I've really been on the fence about it because I can see both sides to the coin.
Okay. So who do you see?
I can see it being Rollins just because he wants to keep being that fighting champion, and he's about as stubborn as a mule. He's not going to want to take the time off to really let his back recover.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to want to, keep building. And the thing is and wrestlers have said this and dealt with this, when you're injured, especially if you're towards the top of the mountain,
You fall all the way down once you leave.
Once you go to rehab an injury or whatever, you're back at the bottom, and Lord knows when that opportunity is going to pop up again.
See, that's the thing is you can say that about a majority of wrestlers. Just let me get through this. You can say that about a majority of wrestlers. You can't say that about Rollins because he left at the top, had his injury, came back at the top again.
But think about how they wrote him his return. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen the same way.
No.
Again.
But you could.
Michael Cole alluded to this on SmackDown yesterday when they were talking about, Theory, Ray, and how Ray won the window for opportunity isn't always open. Once it's open, you don't have a long time to jump through that window.
Yeah.
And if you choose not to do it and that closes on you, Lord knows if you're even going to get it to open again.
I don't think that they're just going to drop him all the way to the bottom. I think he'll still be in the middle, and then he will get his time in the sun again, because not only is he a Triple H guy, but he's also a Vince guy, and Vince has really grown on him no matter who comes into creative.
Rollins has always been a high priority for the company because of how much he's been willing to do for the company.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, the company understands he has this, and if he does not fix this, he is gone earlier than they expect.
Oh, yeah. Like this, if he doesn't get his back looked at and recover from this back injury, this could definitely just shorten his career significantly.
I love Rollins. I really do. And I love seeing him.
And let's be real, he isn't getting any younger.
No. I love seeing him every Monday night. I love the fight that he brings, but I would rather see him longer in a ring than shorter.
No, honestly, and I agree with you on that aspect of I want to see him have a lengthy career. Granted, if his career ended right now, like this was, God forbid, the last match he will ever have in a wrestling ring, he's a Hall of Famer.
Knock on wood.
He is a Hall of Famer. End of story. There is
curtain closed. Done.
There is no ifs, ands, buts, questions, arguments to make against him being in the Hall of Fame.
All right. So you got to give us your prediction.
I don't know if I really have one.
You don't know.
Because again, I can see Rollins again wanting to win the match, maybe expand the story a little, but I can also see, them putting the title on Nakamura just to give him that time to nurse that injury, to heal up, to rest up, to
to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. To work through his injury and everything.
And
so you're going undecided on this.
I'm going undecided for Nakamura Rollins.
First time ever.
I was going to say, and that's a first for me.
Mm-hmm.
You do it relatively often.
I actually don't. There's only been 1 or 2 matches that I've
You've done it more often than I have. It's been a handful of times.
Until we get on air, yes.
That's fair.
And then I really kind of throw you with it.
Yeah.
Because I'll usually write out everybody else's, but the minute mine comes up, I'm very secretive about what I put in. Unless it's a really big draw match, you are too. You'll let me know like last minute, or you'll let me know on the air. But
yeah,
I'm very secretive about mine.
That's valid. That's valid.
So that wraps up our card for Payback, which will be on tonight, and we will have our recap out tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'll say we'll have it tomorrow.
I know that obviously we started this out with a tribute to a fallen Bray Wyatt. Is there anything, Brother Pyro, you would like to say before we go off air?
I think I've covered it more last weekend when
it was very fresh.
When it was very fresh, just be done with, like, life's short. If this didn't show how life can be taken away from you in an instant,
yes,
you have not been paying attention. Let's stop with the toxic fandom, locker room toxicity, whatever.
Yeah,
because I think it's time that we just continue that we unite.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully this is kind of starting to really show on us uniting.
I was reading something. Mm-hmm. They actually had an interview with Captain Toxic himself, CM Punk.
Okay.
No, but I do love what he said.
Okay.
Because they had asked him, about the deaths of Terry and
Bray.
And he said, let me see if I can pull it up real quick, because I know I saw the screenshot or whatever of it on Facebook, and I don't want to misquote him, because again, what he said was actually really touching.
Okay, well, we'll give you a second to look for that.
All right, so it took me a minute. Thanks for your patience. I found it. They had asked him again, how he felt about Terry's passing, about Bray's passing, and I quote, and this is to CM Punk via Cauliflower Alley Club. Mm-hmm. Terry Funk lived the life. I think if you were to ask Terry right before he went, "Are you ready to go?" he would have told you he was ready about 10 years ago.
Okay.
But Bray and Jay Briscoe,
mm-hmm.
I don't think they were ready to go. I don't think they were ready. So I think it's important to remember them. Mm-hmm. And I think we as wrestling fans and other, wrestling personnel that have gotten the chance to meet these guys, to know these guys, I think it is important that we do everything to keep their memories alive. Like,
even if you see them at a live event or just
at this point, like Terry Funk, his career is cemented, his legacy is cemented, his memory definitely forever lives on. But guys like a Mark Briscoe,
you mean Jay Briscoe?
Yes, a Jay Briscoe, a Bray Wyatt. Even a couple years ago, Brody Lee.
Yeah,
they died before they could really get the chance to cement their legacy.
And I know,
and they left so much on the table that I don't think it's fair to say, hey, we got the best out of them.
So I've been seeing a lot of this. We got
the best of what we could for at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not to say we got the best out of them career-wise, because all we know, the best was still to come.
So I was seeing this, and obviously it's come after, his passing, that either Bray Wyatt singularly there's a possibility of him headlining the Hall of Fame, or do you put it as the Wyatt family? Because that way you also honor, Luke Harper, Brody Lee. What would you personally do?
Personally?
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of both. I don't think either version, I don't think the faction, and I don't think Bray as an individual, I don't think the faction really did enough together to argue a claim to the Hall of Fame. Okay. Unfortunately.
So
if
saying
you
more individually.
I was gonna say, if you disagree with me, please at me on Twitter, Pyro Nightmare 97.
I would
You
say
know, let me know. Let me know where I DM the Twitter for
Wrestling Crossroads.
Wrestling Crossroads, Instagram, whatever. Like Pyro Nightmare 97 at gmail.com. Like, email me your opinions and tell me if you think I am wrong for saying that I don't think the Wyatt family as a faction should be inducted, because they really weren't as successful as we wanted them to be, in my opinion.
Okay.
With the exception of, once they added Randy, because think about it, that's the first time they really achieved gold as a
Not
as a
necessarily,
faction.
no.
One of the first times. But, like, they didn't...
Because they technically did achieve gold as a faction down in NXT.
Well,
and then the
still.
Bludgeon Brothers also
But
achieved
that
goals
was
separate.
That was
the
a
Wyatt
whole
family.
separate... That wasn't the Wyatt family.
Yeah. No.
And that's the argument I'm trying to make here. Is, like, as individuals, as, their own separate counterparts, they were able to do a lot more.
Okay. Yeah.
Than they were together as the Wyatt family, which really sucks, because I really did want to see, I wanted to see the Wyatt family really be that team to come in, and especially with the characters that they gave.
I mean, but would you be mad if they
stories.
did the
No.
Wyatt?
Would I be mad? No. Would I think it necessarily made
Makes
the most sense?
No.
Also, no.
Okay.
Bray as an individual, however, I can see an argument
for him
either way.
Okay.
But I also don't want him to be in the Hall of Fame just because he died.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to put this in the world of basketball a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When Kobe died.
Yes.
Let's be honest here. As great of a career as he had, he only became eligible for the Hall of Fame when he did because of his passing.
Okay.
He only got that Hall of Fame induction when he did because of his passing. And I don't want to see that be the case for Bray Wyatt, because I feel like that would tarnish his name. I feel like that would be, an asterisk or like kind of like muddying up what could have been his legacy.
Okay. I get it.
And I think that is not fair to him.
All right. I get it. I totally do. So ending out Wrestling Crossroads, we will be doing a 10-bell salute for our fallen wrestler. And we will see you guys tomorrow for our recap.
He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands.